morning, everybody. God bless you guys. Come on and gather in. Let's have some fun. Come on, guys. Come into the chat room real quick. Turned Up Tuesday. We've been here on time, but we had some difficulties we was trying to figure out, but it's all good. 2 more seconds, we start this show, man. Senny, God bless you. Let's go. Come on, we're gonna turn up on. We're gonna turn up a little bit. Come on to the chat room, man. Okay. All right, God bless you guys. Good morning. It is, let me turn this. Good morning, guys. It is a Turned Up Tuesday, August the 30th, 2022, 29 minutes after the hour. Welcome. Shawn Harvey Morning Show, Wake Up Team with Senny J, only place on earth where you get your morning start right. Chat room's wide open. Call in 570-982-6950. Broadcasting live, iHeartRadio, radio.com, ShawnHarveyMorningShow.com as well. We appreciate all you guys. We're on YouTube this morning. Go to our YouTube page, like and subscribe to the page. Comedy World Network sponsors the show. Thank you so much for you guys over there on all social media platforms. You know the deal. Welcome on the place on earth where you get your morning start right, so you get your morning love. Also on all social media platforms, you know the deal. Welcome to the show. Good morning. This is where you get your morning love. But most importantly, on only place on earth where you get your morning started right. Senny J, God bless you. Good morning. It's good to see you. And how are you? See, they looking at you on that second camera real quick. I mean, that middle camera right there. They
good
looking
morning,
right
guys. Good to see you. Make sure you stick around because I'm going to have Senny Says, where I let you know what's going on in Hollywood and entertainment news, as well as Front Page News with Senny J, where I will let you know what's going on locally and nationally, so you don't want to miss out on that.
Well, thank you so much, Senny J. And before we start the show, and guys, we've been here. We're here on time. We're just trying to figure things out here. Fine. Don't worry about it. God bless you guys. Just come to find out that before we start the show, Senny J and myself aren't friends on Instagram.
It's absolutely ridiculous. I went to send him something in his DMs, and he's like, you didn't send it. And I'm like, I did send it. So I go and I send it again. And then he's like looking for it. And he's like, oh, here it is. It was in another inbox, in another box. I'm like, it's in another box? What you mean it's in another box when it should come up in your...
Yeah, of course.
So, yeah.
And then come to find out that in this particular other box on Instagram, it's flooded with messages. People send me so many messages. So today I'm going to look at all these messages that I didn't realize that I had. And these are recent messages. So I have to say partly thanks, Senny J, that not knowing that we weren't friends on Instagram, now I can send you a request, and you will accept my request, right? And if you do that, that'd be really nice, and then we can correspond via.
People don't need to request to be my friend on anything. It's open.
Oh, it's open? Okay. So then I'm going to send you an open request, and then I could go, and also look through my request box, whatever that is.
I mean, I feel a little hurt about it.
Sorry about that.
Like, my feelings are a little hurt, but I'm going to try and move past it.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, listen, I vice versa. I'm not your friend either, but I'm fine with that. It's okay.
I think I'm your friend. I'm going to look into it because I feel like, because I see your posts on Instagram.
Okay.
So we have to be friends, but why are my messages being deferred is the problem.
No, I don't know.
I'm going to look into it,
Sean. Well, anyway, guys.
And I think you should be concerned as well.
Well, I'm for sure that we're friends on social media, but is it really?
I don't know.
Is it really?
I hope it's nothing to do with anything you did on your end.
I don't know.
I hope you have nothing to do with this.
I'm not as social media savvy as a lot of you folks out there. Okay, Senny, so guess what? Welcome to the show, guys. Good morning. Turned Up Tuesday. We're going to play a quick video that, Senny, before, you want me to say anything about this video before you start, or should we just play the video?
I thought this was so funny because this clip is literally like, I don't talk to my dad, but if I did, this would be something he would totally say to somebody.
Comes to them getting into disagreements.
Okay.
And they will verbally put some lashes.
That's not the front of it.
Because they don't respect.
No, I'm gonna play it again because I just.
Okay.
So, hold on, give me a second.
He's
fellas.
gonna play the clip for y'all.
I'm gonna play the clip again.
Just give him a second. It's hilarious.
It's funny.
You guys need
This
to
is
listen
what Senny
to it.
really thinks.
I told Shawn, I was like, "Oh my gosh, Shawn, you have to listen to this."
And
it's something that Shawn would say to a guy he met of mine.
And they will verbally put some lashings on you, brother.
All right, here goes the
Because they
beginning.
don't respect men. I'm just giving.
Okay, so this is okay, guys, and I put the picture of the. I think this is Dad. So if you look in the video, this is a picture of Dad. We don't have the video. It seems like Dad is explaining. No, well, yeah, it says point of view. Her first time you meet her dad, right? So Senny, I think that this is a man that's talking to a potential boyfriend or someone he just met. Mm-hmm. That's in a relationship with his daughter.
Yeah.
And he's giving the young man the 411 on his daughter.
Right. Agreements and engagements with men, and they will verbally put some lashings on you, brother, because they don't respect men. I'm just giving it to you forefront, brother, so you know what you're going in.
Oh, well. Okay.
Daughters do not respect men. So I'm letting you know that now.
He said his
I'm not
daughters don't
joking
respect
when
men.
I tell you that, brother. And they have mouths when it comes to them getting into disagreements and engagements with men, and they will verbally put some lashings on you, brother, because they don't respect men. I'm just giving it to you forefront, brother, so you know what you're going in.
I just thought that was so funny.
So I'm letting you know that now, and I'm not joking when I tell you that, brother. And they have mouths when it comes to them getting into disagreements and engagements with men, and they will verbally put some lashings on you, brother, because they don't respect men. I'm just giving it to you forefront, brother, so you know what you're going in. She might not have told you this, but my daughters do not respect men. So I'm letting you know that now, and I'm not joking when I tell you that, brother. And they have mouths when it comes to them getting into disagreements and engagements with men, and they will verbally put some lashings on you, brother, because they don't respect men. I'm just giving it to you forefront, brother, so you know what you're going in.
All right. Now.
She might not have told you this, but my daughters do not respect men.
Now, there was the picture of the guy. Here's the picture of the default.
When I tell you that, brother. And
that's the picture of the dad.
When it comes to them getting into disagreements and engagements with men.
Now, this is the picture of Dad.
Put some lashings on you, brother.
And he's giving the boyfriend before we start the show. He's giving the boyfriend the 411. Good morning, everybody in the chat room. God bless. He's giving his daughter, the potential boyfriend or boyfriend, whoever this person is, the 411 on how his daughters behave and how they disrespect men. And like, I don't want to start the show off like this, but Senny finds it very fascinating and very refreshing that that this information is coming from the dad to the daughters. And a lot of women find she finds it very funny. I think it is funny.
Because I feel like that's something somebody would say about me.
It's really, it is.
I said it to my mom and my sisters, and we're going to have a good kiki of it.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate that before we start the show, and good morning, guys. It's unfortunate that we find this hilarious, and the problem is it's not the daughters, it's the dad. Dad, he's probably been lashed out at his daughters, and he's probably been disrespected by them.
Oh,
because
please!
the
Why
way,
are you taking it there?
Excuse me, because the way that maybe he raised his daughters, or the way the daughters see the world. Dad got a responsibility. I respect Dad for, giving the information to this boyfriend or potential boyfriend about his daughter. If that was me, right, and Dad was talking to me, and I was dating the daughter, and Dad was giving this information, I'm gonna look at the girlfriend or whoever this is, and I'm gonna kindly walk out the effing door. I'm gonna say to Dad, yo, good looking, brother. Hold on. Good morning, everybody. God bless. Turned Up Tuesday. I'm going to say, good looking, Dad. I really appreciate you. But this is not going to work because I'm not going to deal with a woman that's going to give me severe tongue lashings and be disrespectful and not listen to anything that I got to say.
So walk right.
No, I'm not
walk right.
No, yeah, I'm gonna walk right out the door. So that's what I do. No, well, if it's joke or not,
he just felt like he might feel like his daughters. He's just letting him know. He's probably just letting them know. Listen, if my daughters, if they have a problem with something, hey,
my daughters do not
they're gonna let you know.
So I'm letting you know that now, and I'm not joking when I tell you that, brother. And they have mouths when it comes to them getting into disagreements and engagements with men, and they will verbally put some lashings on you, brother. Because they don't respect men.
And look at
I'm
that.
just giving it to you forefront, brother, so you know what you're going in.
And look at that, everybody. Look at him. He's already stressed up. He got the 2 fingers up. He got the TV off on the side there. He got the, he got the OJ raper's mouth. He doesn't have a mustache on. There's a lot going on with Dad. But before we move on, Senny had such a thrill with this morning while we was trying to fix things in here that I just find it very disrespectful. I like I said, I do give Dad the utmost respect for alerting this young man how his daughters are behaving. Thank you for that. But if this young man who received this information from the dad is still going to deal with his daughter, then then you're empathic, my friend. Maybe you are the whipping boy that you're supposed to be, just like Dad is, because Dad is a bitch ass neighbor as well. What? He's a man that don't have a strong back. He's a man that excuse me. He's a man that doesn't command respect from not only his daughters, from anybody. Because if he's sitting there and telling them that his daughter has this mouth and very disrespectful, then that, to me, that means the daughters were disrespecting him as well. And there are some men out there that just don't have the backbone, and they're not built as a true man to demand and deserve the respect. That's why when these kids are out here cursing out their parents, it starts from that point. And then it leads all the way to Dad having this conversation. Young man, whoever you are that was talking to Dad, you look at the daughter and you cut her ass the F off. And you walk out there, because this is an emotional abuse. This is narcissism. It's funny. It's funny. The video's funny. Whether if it's act out or not, if it's real or not. But you're dealing with a woman and the father as well. The father's empathic. The daughters are narcissistic. They're not going to listen. They're going to lash out on you. I don't want no woman lashing out at me and being disrespectful to me. I'm walking out the door. This is a woman that doesn't compromise. This is a woman that it's all about her. She doesn't need a man. And that's my viewpoint. Welcome to Harvey's house. I just believe that if you're going to yell and be disrespectful to me as a woman, I'm not going to deal with you. And this is the problem. Now, Senny has another viewpoint. We'll go to Senny's world about it. But this is how I feel about it. It's a funny video. No question about it. But Dad is a bitch-ass nigga.
I'm not joking when I tell you that, bro.
He says he's not joking.
And they have mouths.
They have mouths.
When it comes to them getting into disagreements and engagements with men. And they will verbally put some lashings on you, bro.
Right.
Because they don't respect men.
They don't respect men. Thank you, Fa. Verbal lashings because they don't respect men.
Because that is, it's
Welcome to Harvey's
so
house.
Crazy that two people can see the same thing. And this is how you're receiving it. Because to me, the dad has a very cool demeanor, it seems like laid back, chill. He got a chain on, he talks with authority. I don't think that his daughters are disrespecting him. Maybe they have in the past. Maybe they've tried it, because all kids try to disrespect their parents. It's for you to correct that. You know what I'm saying? But I think the dad just knows who his daughters is. He's probably heard them go off on men. And just because he said they'll give you a verbal lashing, that doesn't mean that they're cursing you out. It could just mean they're telling you about yourself, and they know how to articulate themselves very well. So they're going to use their words. I would rather a female that's going to use their words instead of put their hands on you, because a lot of these females out here are resorting to violence. And they're slapping these men, punching these men, dehumanizing them in front of people. So, I mean, yes, if his daughters are taking that toxic approach, but I mean, any man who feels like a woman is going to talk down to him feels like that's disrespect. So, him saying my daughters don't disrespect men, I think he was being funny.
No, it wasn't.
But it could just be, look, you're on my level and I'm telling you how I feel. They're very assertive. That's just what I take it as. And if you're a man who's afraid of that, hopefully you don't bring out that side of her.
Harvey's house.
You know what I'm saying?
Harvey's house is Senny World. I'm sitting here saying, listen, I don't care how you feel about the whole situation. As a man, you're not going to sit there and give me verbal lashings. You're not going to sit there and say, and not only disrespect me, but disrespect all men. That's what he's saying. Everybody's joking now. He's sitting there, and you know what? He's not. The father's not an authority. He's not. He's speaking in that tone because he's speaking to another young man. He's probably, like I said, a bitch ass neighbor anyway. Now, my whole thing is this. Before we turn up on a Turn Up Tuesday, and good morning, everybody, and welcome to the show. We are excited to be here. Yeah, women now, a large majority of them now are now putting hands on men. Maybe it's payback from the years of men putting hands on them. I don't know. But now women are very disrespectful. Okay, I get the whole, I don't need a man thing. It went from I don't need a man, which I agree. You can pay your own bills and all that. If you got your own head, you remember the song? If you got your head, you ain't need nobody to pay your bills. I get it. That's fine. Go ahead and pay your own bills. You don't need a man. I don't care.
Oh my God.
But you went from that. You went from that to having heavy resentment. Because that's what it is.
No,
you went from
it's
that.
Not
you
heavy
went from
resentment.
And then from the heavy resentment.
Stop putting all of these labels on
then
women.
you went from resentment
Men
and
have
being
resentment.
resentful to now
Men are resentful that women don't need them.
Now you putting no, we're not. We don't care about that.
It.
No,
yes,
we don't.
Yes, they said that.
Men don't.
Listen, every time men say
No,
we don't care about that, we don't care about that,
cares.
it be the very thing that they care about.
It's not
because
true,
men
Senny.
equate their existence to their wallet. And women are out here making more money, and now it's like, oh, I don't care about that because they're out here making their own decisions. They don't need you, and they're telling you about yourself. That's the problem. Men were so comfortable telling women, they still are.
What are you talking
Rest
about?
in peace, Kevin Samuels, talking about, oh, women are fat. Oh, you're always gonna be alone because you need to do this. Oh, da 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 da. Men are so comfortable, and it's okay when you tell women that because you're just being honest. But when women are telling men about their crusty, dusty, no money having behind.
See.
Now it's, oh, we're resentful. Oh,
no,
it's all these labels.
See,
no,
Senny,
Shawn,
if you notice,
it's disrespect.
Senny, if you notice, right,
men
and we're gonna
been
move.
disrespectful.
No, not at all.
Maybe that's why your ass is getting slapped up now.
If you notice the women that you're describing that have their own money and that are successful and doing well in life, a large majority of these women are in relationships, Senny J.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are. And
no,
then
they're not.
Yes, they are. There's a.
Shawn,
let's take a poll
they're
in the chat
not.
room.
Literally.
Let's take a poll in the chat room right now.
The upcoming women are saying that there's no men out here. There's more successful. There was an article that came out in Psychiatry Today where they were talking about men are more lonely than ever because women have their own standards and are not falling for the okie doke.
Okay, so see, let's go.
People are not getting married, Shawn.
Okay, let's go.
And women
of marriage
on a whole make more than men in general.
That doesn't matter.
And they're not getting married, especially in the black community. So what are you talking about?
Let's take a poll right now. We got all the women in the chat room right now. These women, right? Let's take a poll. Let's take a poll right now.
There's literally 13 people in the chat room.
So it doesn't matter.
How many of them are actually
let's take a poll of the
married
6 women.
Let's
take a poll of the 6 women.
And you want to use that as a reflection on what's going on in the whole.
This is what it is.
Okay, go ahead.
99% of the women that listen, it's nobody in the chat room right now, you're right. 99% of the women that listen to this show are successful, hardworking women. Okay? And that's true. That's fact. They all have jobs. we really don't have no busted bitches in the chat room. These are grown-ass women, either young or old, right? Right? 90% of them are in relationships that are doing well in their lives that listen to this show. Now, I hear you with the articles and what the world is saying. I hear you. And you're probably right. But let me tell you something. Right here in real time, you can have a discussion about it. Welcome to Harvey's house. I'm talking about what I see in the chat room right now. All these women that are in the chat room right now are successful at what they do. They make money, and a large percentage of them are in relationships. This is what I see in real time at 7:50 a.m. in the morning.
Okay, Shawn, that is your personal purview.
It's not my personal purview.
Okay,
This
yes,
is what's going on right now.
No, that is your personal purview.
Would you disagree with me?
Oh, well,
Would you disagree with me right now about that?
I can't disagree with you about what's going on in the chat room.
It's not personal.
But out
it's
here
what
in
it is.
Okay, so how about you take a poll about the single successful women that you see out when you're doing your shows? That would be a better, because that is more of an out there demographic, and as also going on right now. How about you do that and come back to me after you go out this weekend and do your shows for Labor Day weekend? Why don't you come back and tell me how many successful women you found that were in a relationship?
You make it sound like
for a year or longer, 5 years or more, or 10 years or more, like the women in the chat room is putting out.
You make it
tell
seem
me that.
You make it seem like every successful woman out there is not in a relationship.
No, I'm not saying that.
I know you're not.
But
you're not saying. You make it seem like there is not one successful relationship out here. And if there is, it's failed to doom at some point. It's the way you look at situations. The way you look at situations comes back to you. And that's the problem here. There are a lot of women. All right, ladies in the chat room, put a number one chat room if you have.
I totally disagree.
If you put a number one chat room, if you have other friends that are successful in life and doing well that are in relationships. Put a number one if you know folks that you deal with that. That's in your life. Ladies in the chat room, all four of you. All four of you, put a number one in the chat room if you have a friend or you know a friend that's a successful woman that's in a relationship. Because there are out there, yes, there are a large majority of women that are single and can't find a man for all these particular reasons that Senny is talking about, but the glass is half empty and the glass is also half full. That's the way I look at it. There's a lot of women out there. There are a lot of women out there that are in healthy relationships that are successful and that make more than their partners. They are out there. You can't tell me that they're not out there.
And that's great for them.
Are there a lot of bunch of angry single women out there? Yes. Are there a bunch of women out there that are being disrespectful to men? Yes. Are there a bunch of women out there that are now putting hands on men? Yes. Are there women out there that are being combative to men? Yes, they are out there. But there are also women out there that have a successful life, have a great relationship with men that make money. So you can't sit there and tell me that this doesn't exist.
But okay, but they're not in the conversation. I'm tired of people putting married people in the same situation as people that's out here dating. They're out the game. They're gone. They're off living their happy, merrily, not having any problems life. I'm talking about the people that are out here and still have to deal with each other to try and mate up so that we can create a functioning society, okay? And the people that are still in the game, okay? You're telling women to do all this stuff. They do it. And then you turn around and tell them that it doesn't matter, i.e. their education, the money that they're making, etc., the things that they're supposed to be bringing to the table because I'm not a sugar daddy. And they do that, and then you guys totally dismiss it. And then, I would be angry because I've spent all this time making myself the person that you should want to come see. And then you're over here telling me all this BS about you don't care about all the self-work that I've been doing to be good for you because that doesn't matter. And then you want to tell me that I'm angry and I'm bitter and I need to lose weight and all this other extra stuff. So women that are coming at men, they should take it. And the fact that man, I mean, I'm giving him grace because I'm thinking that it's a joke. But if you want to look at it as disrespect, how about the disrespect that the women are receiving? Because we've been doing what we need to do for you, and y'all are basically telling us it's a bunch of BS.
Okay, so
who
now,
cares?
okay, so now, okay, are you done? Because now, again, as you can't even see it for yourself, it comes from a resentful person. Senny, you are angry.
Why wouldn't I be angry? Because this is what I have to deal with.
Wait a minute. Hold on. There's
nothing wrong with that.
Listen to you. You are angry.
And the fact that you want to be...
You don't even let me talk.
No,
you won't even let me talk. I'm listening to you.
Because I want you to realize in the moment the fact that you can't even validate what I'm saying, and you just want to dismiss it as an angry black woman
Senny,
symptom.
if you can't... Senny, let me ask you something.
Is exactly what I'm talking about.
Senny, are you resentful towards men?
No, Shawn.
Wow,
I'm not.
You're fooling me. Now, my whole thing is
not.
this. Senny,
I always say I want men to do better.
No, you don't want.
But what I don't understand is why people can't see the direct correlation what they're doing.
No, Senny, you don't
in
want
the moment.
No, you don't want men. You shouldn't want men to do better. You should do better.
I am doing better every day.
Now, let me hear me out.
I'm doing better every day.
See, there you go. You want to let me talk? You should do better because the problem here is. Women like you and other women, for some reason, you either want to fix men or you feel that there's this perfect guy in this perfect life. Hold on, with a white picket fence, as they used to say back in the day, and no problems and no worries. And everybody should behave a certain way, and everybody should be on the same playing field. Everybody should have the same amount of goals, and everybody should have the same type of aspirations in life. Hold on. Hold on. That's not reality. All of us have baggage and all of us got mental issues, and there's a lot going on where when it's time to pair up, it doesn't work. The whole thing, and let me hear me out. So what we have to do is for men and women, you just gotta take personal inventory, fix yourself, and whatever comes into your life, whoever comes into your life, hopefully that's a blessing. Now, if you have this problem with bad date after bad date after bad date and then formulate this heavy resentment, because that's what I'm hearing from you. And
Hold on,
and that's what I'm hearing from you.
But why are you hearing resentment? That's what I want to ask you. How are you hearing resentment
Senny, I hear
from what I'm saying?
Put a #1 chat room if you think Senny's resentful for what she's saying. Senny, I could feel your spirit.
I need an explanation.
I'm giving you all the explanations right now, but you're not hearing me. Senny, you don't live in a perfect world. It doesn't exist.
I never said anything
You make
about
it seem
that.
like it does because you want to. I don't know why women want to fix men. You can't fix us. If we want you, we gonna want you. If we gonna love you, we gonna love you. If we feel that you're the person that we want to be with for the rest of our life or in a relationship, men are gonna lock in and men are going to behave and men are going to show love and respect to that person. That's it. All this women trying to fix men and have these long discussions and these in-depth insights on Clubhouse and all these other things, it doesn't work because my whole thing is when you ready, you ready. Only thing you gotta do is fix yourself. That's all you gotta do. If you wind up never with a man, or not you, but just if women, if you wind up never with a man in your life, then so be it. You just be the best version of you, and all the other nonsense you stick it out the window because you can't control that. Women these days, women these days, for some reason, women have the goal to sit here and try to control men, know how we feel. We got to do right. You always say it all the time, do better. No, men don't have to do better. You do better. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Yes, we can have an articulate conversation about it. You do better. Don't worry about men. Women are sitting out there. You have the nerve to sit there and say somebody need to do better. You do better. Don't worry about what these men are doing out here because the man that's supposed to come into your life will.
Yes, you're saying that, Shawn, but literally a lot of men, their talking points are all the same. So the fact that women are saying that y'all get on code with the BS is the reason why you're getting left. Is the
Who's
reason
getting left?
which is The whole reason what everybody's talking about with the Psychology Today article, men are getting left. Men are being lonely.
They're
the
not
same
lonely.
rhetoric that they were putting out for women, saying that, you know, women are going to be old and alone. No. Y'all are being old and alone.
No, we're not.
Women are holding men to higher standards.
No, there you go again. Here we go with the higher standards again.
They don't like
you don't
it.
Think
That's
that,
the
you
problem.
Don't think that the men. You don't think that the men now remember back 20 years ago. Then we got to move on.
The fact the fact that they're still saying that women speaking up for themselves, telling them where they're lacking in certain areas is being disrespectful. I mean, it just goes on to show what the problem is.
Senny, there are. Remember back in the day, everybody already remember this.
How is it being disrespectful that I'm telling you where you're lacking?
No, I'm not saying you're being. I'm talking about the guy in the video. But
yeah,
you can't.
But you're agreeing with him because you're like, oh yeah, any woman that would do that. So you don't want a woman that's gonna hold you accountable.
No, I don't want a woman that's gonna give me thorough lashings and disrespect men. I don't want a woman like that. If you coming into the gate and your mouth is twisted already and you're resentful and you're disrespecting men and you don't respect me as a man, I'm not dealing with that. Now,
you act like women just walk around wanting to give you a verbal lashing. What did you do to actually get me to the point where I have to spit vitriol at you and refrain myself from putting my hands on you?
Excuse me.
How about that?
Okay, I'll tell you about that.
Everybody wants to talk about the reaction, but nobody wants to talk about the cause that got it there.
Okay, I'll tell you. Let's talk about that if you want to go there. We have everyday stresses in life, whether if you're single or not, whether if you're in a relationship.
So all women is just out here stressed out.
Hear me out. So everybody's out here. Everybody got normal stress every day. You got what's normal stress? Getting up in the morning, going out, making money, paying bills, doing that. That's normal stress. It's actually healthy stress. But then when you're relating with somebody, yes, there's going to be some disagreements. There's going to be something that's wrong. There's something that's going to spark anger. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to disrespect me every single time something happens. No, that's not going to happen. We have to work through it.
And nobody's saying that's happening.
So you can't sit there and say because you and other women go right to the extreme. Yeah, he ain't ish. He messed around. He did this. He cheated. No, not every man does that.
And they're not saying that that's what's going to happen. I'm sure she will give you a verbal lashing according to whatever you needed to be lashed
listen,
out about. That's what I'm saying.
I am not taking a verbal lashing from nobody.
Okay, well, that's
what are you
your
talking
personal.
about?
But
not
I
from a man or a woman. What are you saying? There's no verbal lashings here.
Nobody wants to take a verbal lashing. That's
you
why
want to take a verbal lashing?
That's why I think it's actually an exaggeration. The guy wouldn't be there wanting to meet her family if she was such a bitch and he didn't want to be with her. He wouldn't be at her house meeting her dad. So obviously she must be a pretty pleasant person that he wants to be there.
Well,
right?
I say this.
Usually people meet people's parents when things are going good. So I'm assuming they probably have gotten into an argument since then.
Here go the video one more time, guys. Let's hear it for the guys.
I might not have told you this, but my daughters do not respect men. So I'm letting you know that now, and I'm not joking when I tell you that, brother. And they have mouths when it comes to them getting into disagreements and engagements with men, and they will verbally put some lashings on you, brother, because they don't respect men. I'm just giving it to you forefront, brother, so you know what you're going in.
No. Again, dad is a bitch ass neighbor, right?
It's hilarious.
It's funny. Dad is a bitch ass neighbor.
It's the way he's saying it.
And the way he says it, he's delivering like an old school dude from the 70s, and they're sitting around playing bidwits and doing cocaine. I get it. I get it.
What?
But if I'm a man and this father is sharing this information with me, which I truly respect. Thank you, Dad.
Yes, thank you.
He
was being sarcastic.
No,
I
don't care how he's delivering.
Taking his words literally.
I don't care how he's delivering this awful news to me. I'm gonna look at this man. Out of all due respects, men to men, I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna shake his hand. I'm gonna say thank you, but this daughter of yours is not for me because of just what you said and just how you described it. Now, there might be, if we want to speculate like Senny, maybe the daughters had already given this man verbal lashings. And now he done met the dad. And now he's probably sitting there like, oh, man, your dad, you're right. Because she already screamed on me already, and she doesn't compromise, and she doesn't listen, and she's very disrespectful. I'm not dealing with that. And a woman shouldn't deal with a man like that either.
Well, I guess you can take it two different ways.
We're not. And then if you want to be disrespectful to men if you want to give men verbal lashings, if you make more money than men and you can do your own thing, then be by yourself. And don't worry about men being lonely, fixing us, doing all the other things that men all the things that men criticize to do. You talk about marriage people are out the game. Then if you're that woman, then you're out the game. You stay in your little resentful box. You stay there and make your money. You live by yourself until the day you drop dead. That's it. But you're not going to sit here and have all these demands or, as Senny say, these high standards that, in my opinion, don't exist because that perfect person is not on this planet. Then you sit there in your box and you play with yourself and make love to yourself and be great, but you don't qualify to have an opinion because you have made your decision and this is where you want to be in life. So for all those women that are in those boxes, shut the F up, be in your box, be great, and don't sit there and try to fix something. You fix yourself. Go ahead, say last word.
They're not trying to. What are they trying to fix?
You just said men are we trying to fix men. But Senny, why do you use that term all the time? But Senny, why do you use that term?
I don't
we out here
use
want
that
to
term.
fix men. You just used it just now. Why do you feel that women got to fix men?
I said, I feel I want men to do better. You take that and you said you're out here always trying to fix men. I'm not trying to fix men.
Who are you?
Because
how are you qualified to say men should do better?
Because
what gives you the qualification?
Because of the men that I'm telling you right now.
Tell me now.
The men that I've met, the men that I've met that are married, that are trying to date, that are trying to enter my personal space, as well as from my purview, the single women that I've encountered and listened to their stories of the married men and single men and other men that are not doing the work in their inboxes that they're meeting. Okay, when me and my friends say that we're in therapy and we're unpacking things of insecurity and finding out what's going on, and the men out here are just, living their life, not really feeling like there's anything a problem, okay, I can say that from the pool that there is to pull from, as many other women have experienced, as well as other articles and publications are being written about and other things like that seem to be showing that the people are going through the same problems, men and women. I feel like as a woman, I can speak about what I would like to see other men do better.
Okay, so
areas that other women agree with me as well.
Okay, so then I'll tell you what.
Just like you can speak about women that need to shut the F up and sit in their resentment box. Right. That's how you feel.
Right.
I can sit in my single woman, black woman box and say what I feel they need to do better on.
And then here we go.
I don't think that I'm wrong.
Yeah, you are wrong. And that's
no, I'm not.
And let me hear you. And let me just say this.
Please.
And you're not wrong. I take that back. I hear you with this. You maybe
so yes,
maybe you need
I
maybe
want men
maybe
to
from
do
the
better
pool.
because
no, you don't
the
want,
people that are around.
No, you don't want
it's
men.
It's giving pee in the dating pool.
No, you might not want men to do
it's
better.
giving them swirling in a toilet bowl.
From what you just said,
I can say I want men to do better.
From what you just said. From what you just said, forget about your friends and forget about the opinions of everybody else.
It's not the opinions; it's their personal experiences. I've seen the DMs. I've seen the late night creeps. I've been there.
All right, but my thing is this.
So sticking it's not an opinion. It's facts.
Okay,
up.
Sticking to you, which I said this many times. Before we move on, I said this many times. You have to change the people that you're around.
Oh, Lord. Well, so do the men that keep getting baby mamas and women that are keying up their car and women that verbally lash them. Maybe those men need to switch it up too.
Well, maybe it's the men that you've been around.
Because all these men keep seeming to running into gold digging women, women that just want
who are you running
women
into?
that just want to have babies.
What men are you running into?
Men are running into women that give them verbal lashing.
What men?
Men are running into.
What men are you running into? What men are you dating? Where are you getting these men from?
What women are y'all getting?
What men
the ones
are you
with the
dating?
fat asses
What women
the ones that are all into makeup, the ones that are all into everything you don't like.
What men are you dating?
What women are they dating?
That's formed this opinion of your life.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to step out of that.
Yes.
You need to step out of that and step off to some other qualified places with qualified men.
Yes, men need to do this as well.
Okay.
They need to get out of their bubble of whoever they're dating. No, you're not.
Oh, yes,
all men date the same type of woman, and then they want to come over here and complain why they got 4 baby mamas. Why did you pick 4 baby mamas, sir?
Shawn
you
Harvey.
picked wrong 4 times and had a baby all time. And I bet didn't even try to wear a condom with none of them.
And women.
Please, sir.
And women play the part. Baby mothers play a part in that too.
They're all circling in the same thing.
That goes both ways.
In the same pool
you can't
of
sit
BS.
there with. If a man got 4 baby mothers, the baby mothers had a part to play in that too. Shawn Harvey Morning Show. Senny J.
Bye. Good morning, Shawn. Good morning, Senny.
This turned up Tuesday. This is turned up Tuesday in this bitch.
Good morning, guys. Hey, I'm I chimed in late, but I'm listening to, the conversation this morning, and I think first and foremost there's validity to both sides of from both points that you guys are making. I think one of the things that we may or may not be taking into account when you listen to maybe that particular video is this. And this happens, and it just depends on where you are in life and what kind of experiences you've had. I know this has happened to me. I've had experiences where I've dated, certain women, and over the course of dating, in the beginning, the relationship may have started out one way in terms of how me and that person interacted. And the parents, maybe sometimes the mom, maybe sometimes the dad, has come to me and, put out the disclaimer about their child. One of the things that we have to be very clear about is, as parents, we do everything we can, obviously, to raise our children to be the best young people or the best human beings they could possibly be, because that's our job. But in the interim of doing that, we have to remember that they're a part of the real world as well. So that not only are they getting models and ideologies and experiences from you, they're also getting it from the world. So in theory, sometimes it's a mixture of, those two things that end up with the person being who they, eventually become. But to the point that you made about trying to change people, and I think this goes both ways, because I really think that that's a misnomer of so many of us. We think that we get into a relationship, our job is to change somebody. And the reality of it all is your children at the age of about 7, 8, they're already whoever they're going to be, whether you believe it or not. And that's because of, again, the experiences that they've had up to that point, and including if you're a mom and you've been staying home for, quite some time. The reason why it starts to change about 6, 7 is because now they're in school. So now they start to be around other kids and they're watching other patterns that other kids do. Oh, snap, little Johnny does that. Little Margaret does that. So they start trying to take and bring those things home, which in turn you either go along with or you chastise them for or correct them. But with all of those things being said, you're looking at patterns and behaviors that have formulated over time. So as much as we'd like to, think that in a perfect world, to, something that you said a little earlier, Shawn, everybody would be this or be that. We're not. We're very complicated human beings. We're very complicated machines, for lack of a better word. And with that, it means that we find ourselves going through these various moments where we're trying to process the information as it comes to us. In theory, that dad is probably doing that gentleman a very great service in terms of giving him an idea of what he may be facing as he decides to date his daughters. If we knew as men and women, like they say, as a running joke, and I know Shawn can attest to this because he's a comedian, but if you had the opportunity to meet somebody and then on the side, like a mental picture came up and it said, known to put their hands on you, known to give you a tongue lashing, might while out in public. It came with warnings, you run away. But we don't have that. So we got to get to know each other. We got to go through the process of figuring certain things out, asking questions, being around that person, and or, seeing how they interact and react to, the people in your circle. So, with all those things said, let's not be so harsh on one another. Let's not be so have so much angst when it comes to this kind of stuff, because I'm sure for some of you ladies, you may have found yourself in situations where you might have met your boyfriend's mom, and she, explains certain things about her son. That's a part of the process. It's not a good thing or a bad thing. That's that mother who's saying, I know my son. He may or may not be anything. And I don't want you to have to go through years and years of him not being anything before you find yourself in a different space, or, trying to do something different. So I just think that, you guys have to give yourselves some leeway, both sides. It's not a one or the other thing. It's both. It's a duality that is constantly going on for each and every one of us, especially when it comes to the dating pool.
Man, we were so funny, Senny. Who said what?
No, it was.
Who said
it
what?
was before we were talking about the conversation. It was the Godfather.
What'd he say?
Had said, they all need, because when we were talking about men, you were saying men. Yeah, I was saying men need to, pick better. You were saying women need to pick better, and he was like, they all need to have health. They all need better health insurance and paid up life insurance.
Right. Everybody, Amir Silly's on the phone. God bless. And hey guys, welcome to the show. Remember, Ed Lover, that ticket is moving fast. September the 18th at the IMU, 831 South Delaware Drive, Eastern Pennsylvania. Sunday night last. Hold on, Senny. With the world famous Ed Lover. Y'all come on out. Let's show Ed a whole lot of love. We appreciate everyone for coming out. And don't forget, guys, we are bringing the live show to Comedy in Harlem. Thursday, October the 27th. The flyer will be out next week. We will do the show live in person, please. The ticket is $20 each. Y'all come on out. Plus, we're going to have an after party and a comedy show. So if you've never seen us do this show live, come on out. And guys, check this out. Get dressed up a little bit. We're going to film this for industry, our segment. So y'all come on out. We're going to have a great time. Shawn Harvey Morning Show Wake Up Team live podcast, Comedy in Harlem, 508 East 117th Street, New York City. Amir.
Yes, sir.
Are men as lonely as these articles are saying and Senny? And all of a sudden, this is the new movement with women that know that we need to do better or fix us. Amir, do you know? Do you know any man that? Have you had a conversation with a man that's lonely, bro?
You know what? I don't know if men are lonely. I will say this. I think that what we're finding is men and women, because I don't think it's a one or the other thing. I think what's happening is, to the point that Senny is making about making adjustments, because in life, to get to whatever it is you're trying to get to, you need to make adjustments. People are finding themselves in situations because, to something that even you said a little earlier in your speech, we are afraid to be by ourselves. People are, our friend B-Love, she's been on your show, multiple times. She talks about dating herself and hanging out by herself and all that stuff. There's a lot of people who are afraid to be by themselves. So a lot of us will hang on to something versus have nothing. That's not everybody, but that's a good portion of us. And that's only because, in theory, we are too afraid to do the work. And when I say do the work, I mean really take a good hard look at yourself and fix the things that are broken about you. Because you're absolutely right. This isn't about other people and what they're projecting and not doing and doing. Anytime you get somebody in your life and they're broken, crazy, or whatever the case may be, there's some part of you that's attracting that. Now, a lot of y'all are going to be on here and go, man, that's not true. I'm perfect and I'm great. No, you're not. No, you're not. And I don't mean that as, any shock to anybody. I'm not here to belittle anybody or make anybody feel crazy. What I'm trying to get y'all to understand and see is your creation of your world is strictly on you. That's not on somebody else. And the biggest problem that we have is we've been lied to. We've been told that our happiness is contingent on somebody else and something else. That's not true. Your happiness is contingent on solely you. And once you figure that out, and once you take ownership of that, and once you do the work and do everything you're supposed to do, everything else will melt away. But nobody wants to do that because, to Senny's point, we stand and we have all of these platforms now where everybody's just pointing fingers. It's your fault. You did this to me. He did that to me. She did that to me. Stop doing that. You got to take a good hard look in the mirror and see what you're doing to yourself. Too many people do not want to do that part of the hard work. And once you get that out the way, I promise you, everything else will be what you call it. I don't want to bring up something, but if y'all really want to think about it, that's what happened to Will Smith. He's not doing the work. Yes, it sounds good. He's always on here positive and this and that and the third. But if he was doing the work, he wouldn't have had the situation that he had earlier this year. That's just the honest to God truth. And that goes for all of us. Think back to moments in your life when you've been at your supposedly lowest and this and that and the third. It's because you didn't want to do the work and you wanted to blame everybody else. It's my baby father. It's my girlfriend. It's my mother-in-law. It's my brothers. It's my sister. No, it's you. You got to take ownership for you. But a lot of us don't want to do that. And I realize that now at 53 years old, that's our biggest challenge. It's not all this other stuff that people convolute and make up, because that's just deflection. That's all that is.
Amir.
Yes, sir.
Are you lonely?
No, sir.
Thank you. When the last time you had a lonely conversation with a man? When the last time you called a man and said I was lonely?
Say that again?
When the last time you called a man and said I was lonely? Before you answer that question, I'm going to answer it first. I've been here on this planet for 57 years. I've never called a man and said, yo, bro, I'm lonely. Because even if I was in a relationship or not, there was something that was filling that void. I might have been bored for a few minutes, but sitting there lonely, no. Harvey always kept his mind occupied. If not, women, yes, are lonely. Men, we will find our way to some place somehow to fulfill whatever void that we had that makes us feel.
Of course, that doesn't always mean it's healthy, though. So when do men ever tell men anything? They don't share any emotions.
So
please,
my whole thing is
Shawn.
this: all this now movement from women who trying to fix us or trying to do better. Shut up.
Nobody's trying to fix
Shut the
you.
F up, yo.
What are you trying to say?
Yo, ladies, shut up. Shut up. Okay? Shut the F up, bro. Shut up.
It's not doing the work.
Okay? Shut the F up. You can't fix us.
Nobody's trying to
we're
tell
not
you to
doing
fix,
better.
Nobody's trying to fix you.
Unless you are.
It's you getting on code with what's going on. But if y'all don't want to do that, which you clearly don't.
Oh, yes, we are doing it.
No, you're not.
Because there are men out here that are in a successful relationships,
Shawn,
whether there's domestic partners, boyfriend, girlfriend, fiancés, or not. You can't sit there and tell me that there's no success.
Fine.
So that works. So don't tell me that it doesn't work.
There's men getting married all over the place, right? That's great.
But you're minimizing
and they're
that.
keeping women in relationships for 15 years, okay? Because that's healthy and they love it, right?
Okay, yeah, well,
so
whatever.
What I'm saying is, if you have a bunch of people that all are doing one thing, okay, no, of course, women are not a monolith. We don't have, we all don't think the same. But a majority of them have gotten on code and are doing things to elevate them if they were to partner with another person. And there's a whole group of people that we're supposed to be partnering with that are doing absolutely nothing. Men are not enrolling more in school. Men are not getting more higher paying jobs. They're staying exactly where they have always been. Women are not falling for the societal pressures of you have to be married because that's where your worth and value lies, as Amir was saying.
Wow.
But we're the ones that have to birth the next generation.
You don't.
And they can only do that with a reliable partner. Women are tired of being single mothers. They're tired of being beaten down and the slaves of the domestic society. And they don't have to do that anymore.
Right,
so
they're
having money and they're having the ability to do what they want and they're realizing the happiness within themselves.
So there
if men want to stay where they're at and not move with that flow, then
Amir,
we'll see where it is in the next 20, 30 years.
You see what I'm saying, Amir?
But that's all I'm saying. And it's not about fixing anybody. It's just about looking at what's going on around you on a macro level, not your personal purview, but how you are affecting the mass of things.
You see,
then you'll see where it's going.
See what I'm saying, Amir?
I don't need to fix nobody.
My point is proven right there.
Anyways.
My point is proven right there. She just.
All the resentment is coming out.
No, it's not that. It's not that.
That's what it is. That's what it is. My
point
bitterness,
is proven
my resentment.
there.
Please, I know what's going on. Okay.
If a woman feel the way that she does, then the way Senny is feeling, and that Amir, that's the barometer of the day with the women.
Isn't it though?
Then stay in your box. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing.
We're happy. We're vacationing. We're fluing ourselves out.
So then what's the problem?
Damn, Jacob Holmes needed to fly us out. We flying ourselves out. We're brunching.
What's the problem?
We're flourishing.
Amir,
we're getting our bodies done. It's great out here for a single black
So
woman.
then what's the problem?
Flourishing.
So what's the problem?
There is not a problem, Sean.
What's
It's a
the problem
problem when men like you continuously say that women like us are
Men like me what?
resentful and beaten down. They're gonna be alone forever.
Put a number one in the chat room. Put a number one in the chat room if Senny J sounds resentful. Amir, before we move on, we're gonna give you the last word. Put a number one in the chat room if Senny J's feeling resentful. Put a number two if she's not. Go ahead, Amir.
Hey, I just, again, like I said, I totally, get the frustration. I totally get the exasperation Senny is.
But Amir, do you feel like men are moving on trend with women right now?
Yes.
Well, I'll say this. It's not so much that we are or are not. I think the issue, again, is it has to come from self. We are not here to force or to tell other people what to do.
We're not, but don't we have to create a society?
No, we don't have to create a society that you make up in your own mind. No.
Okay. Fine.
No, you're living in a different. You're living in with the Flintstones. What town was that? What town did the Flintstones live in?
Bedrock.
Bedrock. You in Bedrock, neighbor? Remember that song? Every time it goes in Bedrock.
Fine.
Bedrock. Remember that? In Bedrock. You in a whole different. Go ahead, Amir. We're gonna give you the last word.
So again, Senny, I think that, like I said, I understand, but I'm saying this to you and to everybody who's listening, both men and women. If you stay in certain energy, then you just continue to bring that energy back. And all you're doing for yourself is creating.
Look at the number one Prentice put. Go ahead.
All you're doing is creating a virtual situation where you're replaying the same day, the same people, the same instances. So it behooves everybody. You got to change your energy about the things that you think about, the stuff you say to yourself, the stuff that you tell, the stories you tell yourself, because that's what helps you create your reality. And the minute people really understand that concept, I promise you, it'll change so much about your reality and so much about the things that you're doing. It'll scare you because it's going to happen quickly. But you got to understand that part of the equation. And a lot of us don't, because we think to ourselves, by complaining about it, we're doing something positive and changing it. The universe listens in one language and one language only. It only hears the complaint. It does not hear what your solution is. This is why I encourage everybody, talk as positively as you can to yourself, think as positively as you can, and move in love or whatever, suits you in terms of you feeling your absolute best at all times. If you do those things, I promise you, you'll see a shift not only in your life, but in the life and the things and people around you. I promise you.
Well, thank you so much for that, Amir. That truly beautiful. And I will continue to work on my inside. Because the change starts with me.
That's the Batman theme.
Sean.
Batman.
I'm so tired already. I don't even have the energy.
She heard us. Amir, you heard that desperation? She was like, right, Amir?
because Amir knows what I'm talking about.
No, but he doesn't know what he's talking about.
He does.
He knows what Harvey's talking about.
No. He knows what you're talking about, but that's just a bunch of BS.
Oh!
And he knows what I'm talking about. Amir is he's just trying to keep it on a level playing field because he's trying to bring some neutrality to the situation.
Let me ask you a question.
But Amir knows what I'm talking about.
Cindy, let me ask you this question. Amir, you still there?
And that's why he won't be lonely, because Amir's going to get the ladies, because Amir knows what's going on.
Everybody in the chat room.
Okay?
Yo, first of all, shout out to Princess Cox No Pause. That number one in the chat room is hilarious, and I just played some of the Batman theme. That number one is that. All right, let's move on. I was going to ask a question, but forget about it. All right, Cindy, let's go on with the news. And that's that. And women out there who are, leveling up, God bless you.
Yes, God bless.
And men who are out there.
And continue to flourish,
and
queen.
men that are out there flourishing and doing their thing. Salute.
Where are they flourishing? Please show me where the men are flourishing.
They are out there flourishing.
Because I want to go.
They're out there flourishing.
Where? Where are they flourishing?
They're all over this country flourishing.
Oh, okay.
There are men in this chat room right now that are flourishing. What are you talking about? There are men all around you that's flourishing. Unfortunately, you just can't see it because you're picking from a different, container. Okay, continue. Hey guys, Ed Lover, man, get the ticket, man. Somebody just bought a bunch of VIP tickets yesterday, man. Y'all come on down, Ed Lover. Also, live Shawn Harvey Morning Show Wake Up Team podcast, comedy in Harlem, 508 East 117th Street. All the information will be out next week, Thursday, October the 27th. We're bringing the Shawn Harvey Morning Show featuring the Wake Up Team podcast to New York City, which is our largest market where we have the most listeners. So please, if you listen to the show and you're a fan of this show, come on out. Get dressed up a little bit because we're going to have some folks, cameramen and videotaping. So there's going to be a lot of that going on. So if they panned you in the audience, I want you to, dress to impress, look as good as you can. And come on now. If you never met Senny J in person, that'll be, a truly treat for you guys. And if you never met me in person, here you go. You got a chance to. And also Miss Miko be in the building if you never met her in person. So, Senny, let's go on with what's going on in the world other than men that are not lacking.
$480,000 has been awarded to an inmate who suffered a miscarriage after sheriff's deputies stopped at Starbucks while driving her to a hospital. Southern California's Orange County has agreed to pay $480,000 to an inmate who was pregnant but suffered a miscarriage after sheriff's deputies stopped at a Starbucks while driving her to a hospital. Sandra Quinones, who is no longer in custody, alleged in a federal lawsuit that sheriff's staff delayed treatment after her water broke in jail. County supervisors on Tuesday unanimously approved the payment, but Quinones must formally accept the settlement before it becomes final. That's a very good result for someone badly treated in jail, her lawyer said. This poor woman, she's in jail having a miscarriage, and instead of calling an ambulance, they take her to the hospital in a patrol car, and the cops stop at Starbucks. I'm in the middle of reading a story.
That's what you're looking for, Senny. Come on, sing, guys. No.
Can you actually stop playing that? Because you're gonna make the feed go down. You're gonna make the feed go down. So they said instead of calling an ambulance, they take her to the hospital in a patrol car, and the cops stop at Starbucks while she's bleeding. The Orange County jail is capable of sinking to the lowest depths. Unfortunately, this is not the only occasion. Ooh, talk about verbal lashings. Look at that lawyer. So, yeah, so she has to go accept this money. The lawsuit accused deputies of acting with deliberate indifference toward her civil rights and her medical condition. So
what happened again?
They stopped. She was in the middle of having a miscarriage, and they chose to drive her to the hospital.
So the lady did what?
She was having a baby.
She was having a baby, and what happened?
Well, if you were listening.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to find a Bedrock song. Go ahead.
They stopped at Starbucks instead of taking her immediately to the hospital. And she miscarried. She bled out.
Wait a minute. Who, the ambulance did this?
No, they didn't call an ambulance. The sheriff's deputies drove her there.
And then they stopped to get coffee.
Yes.
And she got a miscarriage.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I don't think it's enough, to be honest.
Say what?
I don't think it's enough.
What did they do to them? They did what to them? What you mean?
No, I said I don't think it's enough.
Enough
money.
How much money did they get?
She got $480,000.
Well, remember we talked about the average child is $381,000, so I think they're at the right marker.
And then, what? Another 100 and something thousand for my pain and suffering.
Well, they could have threw some more. You're right.
Exactly.
I would have got two. I want $30 million. That's another issue. But my whole thing is, I don't drink Starbucks, but a lot of people love that coffee.
I don't know why.
And
they're racist as hell.
Yeah,
Black
exactly.
people love running it.
I don't know why black folks. If you run in Starbucks, there's something wrong with you. But some of these folks like me, I'm a coffee drinker. For them, did the officers get fired because they should be fired and in jail for that? As well, you pick them up in a patrol car, so obviously you work and you have a duty to perform. You're supposed to protect and serve. Did you really serve? You didn't serve. You served yourself some coffee. And this woman had a miscarriage. How devastating is this? How
They're probably
devastating
still
is
working.
that?
They haven't
And if
said
these
they've been
police
fired.
officers are still working, shame on whatever jurisdiction these folks are working. These police officers are working, and they should be immediately terminated. Just
How
like
could you how could you even stop when a woman is in active labor? Not to mention she pressed the call button and it took them 2 hours to even respond, and you know she's pregnant.
this is gross
Just ridiculous.
negligence, and it was supposed to be another $1 million tacked onto that. Boy, man, she took a low amount, $400-something thousand. That was
She
the
hasn't
amount.
accepted it yet. That's what
That-
they gave her, but she
that's-
has to formally accept
Oh, so
it.
that's an offer?
Well, that's how much they awarded her.
Oh, so that was it.
So I mean, I guess.
Well, take
she
the
has to take it.
400,000 and go on with your life. But it was supposed to be much more, miss. It was supposed to be some. There was pain and suffering there. There was neglect. But there was also violation of, I'm assuming, all type of policies that were broken by police officers. You're on an active call, right? Saying this would be an active call, and you stop and get Starbucks. Are you out of your mind? You need to get fired, just like Senny. I don't mean to segue into this and to go into your next story. You need to get fired like the chief of police down in, was that Valdez, Texas, where the children was murdered and massacred because the incompetence of the police department and the sheriffs who were scared to death to go into that building. And some of those officers, they ran into the building, everybody, and saved their own children. And the police attendant, superintendent, and all the rest of them were standing outside for over an hour while these kids were getting slaughtered. And not one of you ran in there. And Senny, there was, I'm sorry, I don't mean to go into this, but Senny, there was a police officer, Senny, who saw the young gunman walk into the building.
Yeah.
With the gun.
Yeah.
So my whole thing is,
But we need police.
but my whole thing is this. Why fire the superintendent of police, guys? This story had fascinated me. Fire everybody on the police department, and I believe, Senny J, that it's a criminal act for the police to retaliate. That's criminal to me. They should get fired and be. Can you charge a police officer for not doing his job? Yes. They didn't do their job. You sat there while this goes back to the Starbucks guy, the police. They need to get fired. They have to be held accountable. Okay, you fired the superintendent because if that was my child that got brutally murdered by this kid, and they were police officers that were out there with long guns and didn't forcibly go into the classroom to neutralize this situation, I would be totally devastated. None of these kids had long rifles to protect themselves. Valdez, Texas. These parents, Senny J, are outraged. I would too. I would as well. So yes, the Starbucks police, you should be fired. All the police officers in Valdez, Texas, and you think you want to go to work and get a check the next week like nothing's happened?
They all found the right one because that police station, let that have been my kid, that police station they wouldn't even be going to work. Then nobody would be having press conferences in Uvalde, Texas, because the whole thing would be on fire. So again, like I've always said, when people want things to change, they will get up and do what they gotta do. Because all these people continuing to let these people be in power, do what those people did. January 6th, they want to take things into their own hand. Everybody should have been up there. People just want to sit around and legislate. They want to write laws. They want people to get punished. I don't care about that person being fired. Y'all are here trying to stop me from doing what I need to do. We wouldn't be talking about nothing. Too many people want to talk around and sit around and talk about it. I'm tired of police. I'm tired of the things that they're doing. I'm tired of everybody acting like things are going to change when we vote the right person in. People need to be getting out here in these streets.
I tell you one thing, this is definitely.
And I've been saying that.
I tell you one thing, this is definitely a turned up Tuesday. I totally agree. They should have burned down those police stations like they did in Minnesota Minneapolis when they had the riots for George Floyd. May he rest in peace. They should have did the same thing in Valdez, Texas. Burn that thing down.
I mean, I'll fly to Texas. We can turn it up.
No,
we can turn it up anywhere. I'll go. I'm not willing to put myself on the line for these people that just want to play fake mad and then go back to work the next day. Nobody's really mad.
And how can you
if
be?
you really mad, we gonna do something about it. That's why I do give it up to the people that went up on January 6th, because them people was riled the hell up. And they went to go do something about it.
And Senny, they gave somebody 55.
Y'all need to be riled up.
They sent to, speaking of that, they sent to some one guy yesterday for 55 months for acting like a fool in that building. But in this particular situation,
we all should have been out there.
Yeah, but
and I'm mad. I should be in Uvalde right now turning it up. But y'all ain't mad enough.
No, you're not. When they had the Black Lives Matter movement and went by your house in the Pocono, you didn't go outside.
Y'all
now, listen,
say because I don't care about marching. I don't want to do a silent march. I want to go out here and do what needs to be done.
Now,
of course, I'm not going to be part of a civil protest because that's not part of my ministry. I'm not about that.
Right.
But y'all come around Luz Maria Gonzalez and Jada Gonzalez, and we gonna turn it up.
Now, listen, I say this to the people, and calm down.
I would just say that because it does. It infuriates me. It does. You talk about being mad. I'm mad.
Now, when people
you shoot up my baby.
Excuse me. Now, people, calm down. Now, in Valdez, Texas. I'm sorry, Senny, for moving on. We're gonna go to the next story.
No, you can keep it on there because I'm turned up about that too.
My whole thing is this: all the police officers that we saw in the surveillance video. I don't know if you saw it, Senny. The police officers were in the corridor of the elementary school, protecting themselves behind a wall with long guns, hearing the shots, hearing the pleas of these children. And not one of them ran to defend these helpless, precious babies. They all, hear me out, all the police that we saw in that video should be in jail, all of them serving 20 years each. To me, that was a criminal act for them not to defend the lives of these second-year-olds and third and fourth-year-olds. Shame on you. And it took you 45 minutes to go in there and shoot and kill this guy while he was causing all this carnage. This is a criminal act. Yes, I do agree. Burn the goddamn police station down.
All of them parents should have went home and got their guns. I thought everybody in Texas got guns. Them parents should have went home, got my gun, came back, and then we're going to have a problem outside of the school. Parents with guns on the front line standing down with the police and the other parents run inside. They needed to coordinate it that better. Because I'm going in to get my kid. Now we would have had a situation outside, inside,
and on top of that, that was another disturbing part about this Valdez situation. And I know we didn't really get a chance to talk about this. I mean, we talked about it in the beginning. The parents, because I followed this case very closely and I'm following it now as well. The parents were yelling at the police officers outside the building. They were all standing outside yelling at them to go inside.
Should have got your gun.
Yelling at the police officers. Guys, give us your thoughts on that Valdez situation. The superintendent got fired.
As you in a group and a chokehold, Shawn.
Yeah, because I think, and then they showed the pictures of the kids and it effed me up.
It is.
It effed me up.
It's disheartening because everybody want to walk around and talk about police are here to protect us, sir. Police are here to protect us, sir. Police are here to... Please, just stop.
And then when they showed the pictures and
the multiple just like
and the multiple funerals and all that crap, then it got to me. That's it.
Yeah, no.
Listen, all of this is a criminal act. Boy, we turned up today. What else you got?
It is.
And then you're a local police officer that lives in the town or in the surrounding areas. How do you show your face, bro? How do you go back to wherever you came from? Because there is no way that you can show your face.
They don't even care.
But your kids are good. Cindy, a couple of the police officers ran in there and got their kids and ran out.
Yeah, and I hope they moved too.
Continue on.
Because I would have been at their house.
I'll be that. But I'd have been busting City. I'd have been busting on their door. Your kid alive, bro? Your kid alive, bro? Is your kid alive? All right, we burning you and the kid. Your kid alive. My kid dead. Everybody dead. What's that movie? Everybody dead.
I don't know how people are so... It's the trauma. It's just a desensitization. That's why Americans don't rage out the way that they should. It's just, it's crazy. An evicted Houston man set fire to lure fellow tenants from a building before shooting and killing them. This is absolutely crazy. Sorry, my story is locked up.
You really giving us that news today?
Yeah, it's a lot happening right now. It's crazy. I'm trying to keep it light.
You haven't kept it light in 17 seasons.
Sorry, you guys. My story.
Well, I wonder how it's gonna feel when you bust that first nut.
Shawn, let me see here.
That's one of your problems. Hey, Darren Taylor, what's good? You already know what it is. At Lover, September the 18th. We need the whole crew in the building.
A gunman was shot and killed by a Houston police officer after allegedly setting a fire to lure neighbors outside, killing 3 people in Southwest Houston this happened just Sunday morning at about 1 a.m. Officials responded to a fire and a person down at 8020 Dunlap Street. As the Houston Fire Department arrived at the scene, firefighters said the suspect began shooting, leading them to take cover. According to authorities, when Houston police officers arrived a short time later, an officer spotted the suspect and opened fire. They confirmed that the suspect died and described him as a black man in his 40s. Investigators said they believe the suspect set fire to prompt neighbors to come out of their homes and shoot at them. The Houston Police Chief, Troy Finner, said he believes the suspect may have been a disgruntled tenant who was getting evicted and took retaliatory action against other people living in the neighborhood. 3 victims were taken to the hospital and they were pronounced dead. Oh my God. Whoa, what is going on in Texas?
It's Texas and all over the world, man. It's everybody's turned up. I would thought that COVID would slow things down. That didn't do it. COVID actually rejuvenated a lot of people with violence. And this is an horrific story, boy. That's a whole lot. That's a whole lot of rage. You burn the building down and then you shoot the people. What? And did they catch this young man?
Yeah, he was shot.
No, he was shot. Did they kill him? Because I hope they did. Listen, the story is y'all guys be careful out in the streets. Felicia, I'm gonna reach out to you later on today.
Oh yeah, the gunman was killed. Sorry.
Okay, yeah, kill him, Felicia. I'm gonna reach out to you today. Kill the gunmans. Okay. And there's one thing that Cindy and I also disagree upon. I'm for capital punishment. She's not. But sometimes you hear these stories, and I'm sorry, man. I'm just the capital. Put a number 1 chat room if you're for capital punishment. Put a number 2 if you're not. Cindy, give yourself a number 2. Harvey's house is a number 1. I'm for special circumstances, like you know that this person did this crime. If you didn't know and you got to go to trial, DNA, the whole thing, no. But if you know that this person did this, capital punishment, everybody. I'm not going for all of that. Let them live with it for the rest of their lives. No, I don't want them to live with it for the rest of their lives. I want them gone immediately. I want one emotion from the next. I want to feel sad, and I want to be sad that you murdered my loved one, and then the next day I want to be like, yeah, we killed that mother. We got him. We got that. I love my loved one that's gone, but I tell my loved one, we got that mother the next day. I'll put it in your inbox. And your memorial inbox, we got them. But y'all sit here and run around talking about that's not, God. And there's 17 different gods out here now. There's multiple gods and multiple identifications. A man is not a man no more. If you call me a man, I could find that offensive. So if we got 17 different identities now, we got 45 gods. So don't give me, and the original God, I'm sorry, bro, you're played out. And we also replace heaven with a metaverse. So they're disrespecting you, the original God.
God needs a rebranding.
So I don't. God needs a rebranding. Put that in the chat.
He do. People aren't going to church. Somebody help God out.
Yeah, somebody help God. God is. God
People don't believe no more.
Yo, God is in heaven like, wow, my God.
The Bible?
These neighbors, man.
The Bible ain't Bibling like it used to.
Dude, right.
Nobody's scared of hellfire
Yeah.
anymore.
God and Jesus is up there like, let them kill themselves. We tried. We effing tried.
We gave you the word.
Word. And the devil's like, I told you, it was just a matter of time. This shit was gonna flip off. That's why I threw that virus down there. My whole thing is this: I don't want to hear all that mystical, magical, medieval. We need to protect ourselves, and God said, "Don't do this." No. You try to kill me, I'm not forgiving you. Let's forgive people that do wrong for us. No. My you dead to me game is unbelievable. I'm 57 years old. You do something bad to me and you wish dead on me, I'm not effing with you. You're done. You're deleted. You're blocked from life. So if you're going to sit out there and have a long gun and make a decision to kill my loved ones because you're having a bad day, you need firing squad. What was that movie? Victim, right? Victim. Remember I was telling you about Tom Cruise?
Whoa.
You got to
no,
see
I
this
didn't
movie.
see it. Vikram?
I think it's called Victim. Put in Victim, I think. City. I know I'm saying it wrong. City.
I don't know what you're saying. Is it victim?
Victim. Victim. Not victim. 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 Type in Tom Cruise. Shut the fuck. Type in Tom Cruise. Shut the fuck. See, he was a top level commander in the Nazi army with freaking Hitler, and they try to overthrow the government. They try to murder Hitler.
Whoa.
Little Victim. Look, it was Tom Cruise and the other
I need to find out the spelling of
Victim.
it.
Vivyve. Little neighbor. And guess what? They got caught because they had a whole new president. They was gonna overturn the government. Senny, when Hitler and the crew found out, they round these dudes up and they had a trial right there in the office. And guess what the officer said?
Wow.
The guy goes, he looks at him, you firing squad. You firing squad. You firing squad. You jail. You firing squad. Took them outside. Tom Cruise took them outside. Firing squad. And Tom Cruise was the lead actor, and he died.
Whoa.
Yo, you gotta see this movie.
Spoiler alert.
What's the name?
I can't find it.
Tom Cruise. Put in Nazi Germany movie. You'll find it.
Okay, because when I typed in Vikram, none of that. Valkyrie.
Valkyrie.
Oh my gosh. I typed in Tom Cruise Hitler.
And it came up Valkyrie? Nice.
Yes.
I live by the Valkyrie movement. Cindy, you gotta see this movie. They wasn't effing around. When they found out, they dropped the dime on them and they tried to take over the whole Germany and they tried to throw Hitler out. And Hitler and them found out, firing squad.
Okay.
You kill my family, I want firing squad.
Oh my God.
Y'all sit there and forgive them, let them. No.
That movie.
I agree. Let all the weed smokers out of jail in this country. That's another problem for Brittany Griner. You're in another country. In this country, let all the weed guys out. Right. Let them all out. This is stupid, right? But those capital murder cases and the ones that we know that did it 100%, firing squad. Are they number one? Are y'all with me or not?
All right, put a one in here if y'all want the firing
What's the
squad.
next story?
Yeah, sorry about that.
Firing squad.
Here's a
I
little.
want you to get shot and killed with an old Winchester single shot shotgun.
Wow.
Bring out the old guns.
Well, something positive to look at, I guess. The winner of the 1.34 billion Mega Millions lottery hasn't claimed their prize, and it's actually been over a month. The winner of the 1.34 1.34 billion lottery prize has not yet come forward, almost a month after it was announced that a single ticket was purchased at an Illinois gas station and had won the sum. Lottery officials said it was possible the holder of the winning ticket did not know they had won the jackpot, or they're just gathering their emotions on as they have not yet decided to contact anyone. Harold Mays, who's the director of the Illinois Department of the Lottery, said, "We don't know whether or not they even know that they won a prize. So I encourage everybody to check your tickets." The winning ticket was bought at a Speedway gas station in Des Plaines, Illinois, and the retailer is entitled to a cash bonus of $500,000. The prize, which was drawn on July 29th, is the third largest lottery win in U.S. history. A winner has a year to come forward and claim the money. So, do
First of all,
you
Senny,
think they're gonna claim it?
Senny, well, first of all, the store owner they want their $500K.
Oh, they can't get it till the person claims it.
Yeah, they gotta claim it first.
Oh, dang! I think if they know that it came from that store, they should at least break off the store owner.
But I'm thinking like, oh yeah, an extra tip to the store owner. But it might be a situation where maybe they lost the ticket. You ain't even think of that. Imagine losing the ticket, 1.3 million. And
But how would you lose that ticket?
But
Like
you- but-
everybody that played.
you know, you lost the ticket because they know where the ticket was purchased from. Because you just said they're waiting for the 500,000.
Right.
So if you're running around in these streets, you know that you purchased that ticket from that location.
Yeah.
I hope, you get your order, your finances, your life together before you turn in a ticket. But Senny, imagine you can't find the ticket.
But how long would you really take to? It's been a month. How long you gonna take to just decide what you're gonna do? Like, you still going to work? Like, what if you have the ticket and you know? How long are you waiting till you claim?
Well, they
it?
have a year to do it. But Senny, I would have any normal
I'm claiming
person
that day.
Exactly, any normal person would have claimed the ticket by now.
Yeah.
It ain't no getting your life in order. Your life's in order. It's in order right now.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
I needed to make it better.
And in this particular state, if it serves me right, my memory serves me right, I think you said this is one of those states where you don't have to announce.
Let me double check.
Double check that, because if you don't have to announce, then that means they lost the ticket. Because what difference does it make whether you need to get your life in order or not? You're still anonymous. I hope you didn't
Yeah,
lose.
in Illinois, you can remain
See?
anonymous.
So then the plot thickens. Because if you are anonymous, what difference does it make? You could go in there the next day, here go the ticket. No one would never know.
Right. Except
Unless
that
you run your
attendant.
mouth and let everybody in the hood know. But
Right.
even if that's the case, you could still move and go someplace else. You have the ways and means.
So what would cause you to lose a ticket?
You know,
like that,
sometimes
though?
people put in one chat room if you ever lost a lottery ticket or just a regular ticket. Like some people are irresponsible like that. Some people just put things to the side, they minimize it. People, so if you're like that in everyday life, it might have affected you. I hope you didn't lose this ticket. What is it?
3-4 billion, or you can take the cash option, which is a lump sum of $780,000.
Imagine you can't find a ticket that's $780 million. I think this person is probably looking for this ticket. This person is probably
$780 million.
Imagine you can't find a ticket for $780 million. I might need my own firing squad.
That amount, but. Do people, like, what if it was just like a quick pick? Like, they didn't even know the numbers that were on there. So if they lost it, but they don't even know that they had the winning numbers, then it might be a little bit better.
I would rather lose the ticket and not know that I lost the ticket than lost the ticket and not. That would be torture for the rest of life. So if, like you said, let's say I did 25 quick picks and I just threw them away and put them to the side. I didn't know. But the anguish part of this is that this person who won, the people who purchased the ticket at this particular store, they know who they are.
Yeah. You think so?
Yes, because they like, yo,
It was like, where's that ticket I had?
where's the ticket at?
And they start like going through their
And then
pockets.
like the 500 people are like, the winning ticket was bought at A&B Market. That's where I bought my ticket from.
And then
Now
they
you
can't
look
wait.
at, you can't find a ticket.
I'm one of those
750?
people, though, when I lose things, I'm just like, nah. So even if I was this person, I would be like, dang, I just missed my chance.
And then you have a calendar year, and that money goes right back into the pot.
So right now, should we be? So are we hoping this person finds it, or are we hoping they
I'm
don't? Because we
nervous,
get
man.
another chance.
Should they get away?
Because we get another chance to play. If a year comes up and nobody claimed that money, they put it back in, and we can all play again.
You know, that's a question that you might. I don't know what happens if you don't. If you what in the state of Illinois, so if you don't claim the money, what happens? I pray to all 19 gods that this person. Please don't. I hope you don't lose this ticket, because then what do you do? Yo, I would be done. It would be.
Can you take a picture of it? If I took a picture of my ticket?
No.
I couldn't submit
this
that
is
to
some
them?
old school. This is something old school. You need the physical. Well, in the chat room, I think you need the physical ticket with it signed. Like, that's the binding contract.
Okay. So, somebody wrote a story about it. Okay. So they said, it has been weeks. They were talking about that. The window for
Princess
claiming
is in
prizes.
the chat room as no pause. No wonder why. Princess, why are you in the chat room as no? He what?
He got banned for something. Probably something he said in the chat room.
Okay.
Illinois lottery states that winners may have up to a year to come forward, but winners of more than 250,000 may choose to remain anonymous. So we may never know, though the winner has to. Okay. If a jackpot prize goes unclaimed, each participating state in the Mega Millions game will get back all the money it contributed. The states use their unclaimed lottery prizes for different purposes, but unclaimed prize money typically remains in a state's lottery fund. In Illinois, roughly a quarter of every dollar played on the lottery goes to public school funding. Last year, lottery purchases raised $731 million for education in the state. Oh. So, Mega Millions is not responsible for lost or stolen tickets. Winners are advised to sign the back of the tickets. Unless a ticket is signed, anyone who has the ticket can file a claim. If the ticket is lost before it was signed and someone else finds it, the finder can collect the prize.
So basically, Senny, want to get out of here. I'll put a number one chat room if you enjoyed the show. Put a number 2 if you didn't. So, Senny, basically, the money goes back to the states, and the states could do whatever they want with the money. Wow. So everyone, you
That's
lose.
That's kind of a bummer.
Yo, so you can't. There's nothing you can do. The states get the money back, and we said one of the states money goes back to school or wherever. You lose everything.
There have been 3 unclaimed jackpot prizes in the Mega Millions history. In 2006, a $31 million jackpot went unclaimed in Queens. Wow. In 2003, a $46 million jackpot went unclaimed in Brooklyn. Wow. And December 24th, 2002, a $68 million jackpot went unclaimed in New York, but the city was not specified. Dang, New Yorkers.
All in New York?
Y'all letting away money go. So the city stay getting money. All them unclaimed jackpots that New York has kept in the past year.
But the thing is, it goes back to, unfortunately, the way people live every day. If you take papers and throw them away, or you don't organize things, this is.
At least if you're gonna play the lottery, keep it till that evening.
Yeah,
damn.
Keep it to that evening, because you might have forgot. You cleaned out the car. You threw it in the garbage. Imagine
or if
throwing
it
it in the
slipped
garbage.
out of their pocket.
And then you gotta call a sanitation. Like, say if you have your local sanitation people, you might have a chance to find it. Maybe.
I'm just imagining a ticket just laying on the ground somewhere in Illinois.
No, that ticket is in a garbage field somewhere. See y'all tomorrow.